Welcome back, friends. In the last session, in the last part, I have already covered the concept on the methods of Python strings. In the last part, I have covered some of the methods. So now in this video lecture, I'll be sharing you the almost all of the remaining methods which are being used with respect to Python language. In the last lecture, I have explained you the method on eSpace. So now moving toward the next method is eStitle. Now for that, first we have to take a string. So I'm just taking a string here, and in this string, I'm just assigning string value. For example, I have taken good day. Okay, so now if I just say, A will be printed as good day. What is going to happen is the method eStitle. We have already seen title method. What is a title method? Title method means, for example, in a string we have group of words. So if each word will be get capitalizes and the remaining letters are in lowercase, then that is satisfying the property of title method. Now, if any kind of strings we have seen, and if I want to verify whether it is satisfying or not, so you can satisfy with the help of eStitle. So here I'm taking that method. So what is that is, I'm just assigning into a variable B. So I'm taking eStitle. Okay. So I have just seen that. So if I just use print of B, then you are getting as true. Why you will get as true? Because in this string we contain two words, basically good and day, because there is a space between that. That's why there are two words here. And we can see that good and day will G has been capitalized and D has been capitalized here. But if we change the word, for example, if I take now the difference between the previous good day and this good day is, what I did here is that in the second one, I have taken good day, but I haven't taken any space. So it considered as a single word. So what happens is that apart from G, D is also kept in capital letter. So let us see what is going to happen here. So according to the property of this eStitle, the condition is uh, every word has to be get capitalized here. So here I'm getting false is because the other words has to be lowercase. All the other words has to be in lowercase. But here that D is in uppercase. That's why because of that reason, here it is giving me a Boolean value as called as false. So in this way, eStitle is going to work here. In the same way, we have remaining methods such as to check whether the given string is in uppercase and lowercase or not. So in that case, what happens is generally it only concentrates on the alphabets. But if I take numbers, so it ignores numbers, it just concentrates on the alphabets. Whether if the alphabets are in uppercase, then it results as a true. And if any one of the letter is in lowercase, then it gives as a false. So let's again check and verify it. So I'm just taking a string here. I'm taking Python. Here I'm taking Python 3 here, right? I have taken one string here. Now what I'm doing here is the same thing I'm doing here. I just want to know whether the given letters, alphabets are in uppercase or lowercase or not. Completely, if it is uppercase, then you will get the value of B as true. So here you are getting the value of B as true just because Python completely is in uppercase. But if you take other than one, that means like if you take it in a way, like if you just take here, you can see that P is just only in capital letters, but the others are in lowercase. So if I just try to do this, I'll be using here upper, no need of any argument because it just gives us a value as a true or false here. So I'll just try to print B now, and you can see you're getting as false. It's because Python only P is in capital letter, but others are in lowercase. So in this way, you can also implement, you can implement is lower. So here, if I use the same string A, now what I'll do is I'll just use is lower, right? Then if I just print B, then I'll be getting false. It's because the reason here is all the letters are in not in lowercase because P is in uppercase. But if you take all the letters in lowercase, such as if I take here as all the letters, even the first letter as in lowercase, like I did here, Python 3. Now I made all of them as in lowercase. So now I'll do it again. I'll just verify with the help of isLower method. Now if I just print this, you can see that it is getting as true. It is because, Python completely is in lowercase. So in this way, is title, is upper, and is lower will be used. Similarly, we have another one called as join method. What does the role of join method here is, whenever if you are taking any kind of sequences, I mean, if you're taking list, even if you're taking dictionary, so in that one, what happens if it is a collection of strings, right? If it list is something as a collection of values, right? Different types of values. But if you're taking such kind of list where all of them are strings, and in order to make them as a single string, you can use join method. So let's see with an example here. I'm just creating one list, right? So I'm just creating one list here, and list always will be taken in square brackets. So here I'm using this. I'm just taking A, B, and C, right? So here what I did is I've created one list with 3 strings, a group of 3 strings, where each string contains some values such as A, B, and C. Now what I need to do here is I just want to use join method. So in order to use join method, the first thing is that, as I said in the last part also, that strings are something immutable in nature. Because of that, the result will needs to be stored in another string. So here I'm using another string called as result. In result, I want to store the result of the join method. So for that, what I need to do here is I'm just using one separator here, okay? And that separator will separate the 3 strings. In between the 3 strings, there will be one separator will be there. And remember, all the separators are needs to be in strings only. So here I'm taking a string. Here I'm using separator. So I'm using star as a separator. Now this separator will separate all the 3 strings, and it forms as a single string. Let us see now. I'm using join now. In join, I need to use argument as the string name. So what is my the sequence? List. So I'm using list 1 because I have given the name as list 1 there. So after doing this, now I need to print that result. So I'll just print the result now. You can see that a string has been created, a single string has been created with 3 different strings has been merged, that is A, B, and C into a single string. And there is one separator which we have taken as asterisk, and that separator will separate A to B, B to C. And that separator even has to be in string 1. So in this way, you're using list. In the same way, you can use dictionary as well. But you can find some differences if you are using dictionary. Let us give an example here. So I'm just creating one dictionary here. So if I'm just creating here one dictionary. So for that, what I need to do here is I can just use that. I'm using name, right? So I'm using name as this one because it is something a combination of key and a value. So my key is name and my value is Irshad. Similarly, I'm using another key, right? Then I'm using the value here, right? So I have created one dictionary here. Now, what I need to do is if I need to merge them, then the thing here is that when it merges, it won't merge the values. Instead, it merges the keys. So here there are two keys, that is name and country. So it merges two keys, not the values, right? That means it forms a single string. So for that, I need separator, like as I've used there as star as a separator. So I'm storing that separator in another variable, such as I'm using SCP, which is for separator. So here I'm taking comma. That means comma will be acts as a separator between that. Again, I'm using another variable to store the result of this join operation. So now instead of the actual value, actual string, comma, I'm using separator SCP. Why? Because that string I have stored in a variable. So that's why I'm not writing string here. Instead, I'm writing the variable name, and I use join method. And in this one, I'm just giving an argument dictionary one. Okay. And if I'll just try to print this result, you can see that it has been taken as a single string, right? But only it considers keys, not the values. So there are two keys, as I earlier said, that name and country, and comma is a separator which separates both of this, but ultimately it becomes as a single string. So in this way, what happens is join method will work. Similarly, we have another method such as partition method. Okay, let's go on to the next method, that is partition method. So in order to know what does the partition method will does is, first I'll take one string, right? I'm just writing here as Python is an easy language. I have just created one string. The name of this, the value of the string is this. Python is an easy language. I have created one string called A. Now I need to use partition method. So partition method, in the sense, what I need to do is actually, whenever if I use partition method, so there should be some value by which the string will be get into partition mode. Okay, so here what I'm doing here is, again, the result, in the sense, the result of the partition method will store in a result string. So I'm using, this is my source string, which is A, and I'm using partition method. And in this one, I'm using the space, right? So here the space acts as a acts as a part of the string which separates. That means, the here there are multiple spaces, are the one space, two space, three space, four space, but it always goes for the first occurrence, right? So where is the first occurrence? So this is the first occurrence. So whenever we use partition method, it will divide into three parts. The first is, before this space, whatever the part of the string will be there, that will be taken as a first part. Then the second is what we have taken here, that is space. And the third part is, after this space, what is the remaining part is there? That is is an easy language. So it means the result will form into tuple, and tuple will contain three strings in this way. So here, if I'll do this again, if I'll just print this result, Yes, we can see now the same thing. Just now I said you that this is my first space because it always goes for the first occurrence. And before this, what is the next thing is Python. So Python has been taken as the first part, then the actual space is the second part, and the third part is the remaining part of the string. Okay, if there are multiple spaces are there, so it will always goes for the first occurrences. Not only space, if you take any of the character, it always prefers for the first occurrence, whereas it ignores the remaining part. And as you know, as it is case sensitive, that means even if I'm taking a separator with small case, so it always goes for the small case only. It won't concentrate to the uppercase because it's a case sensitive way. So in this way, the partition method works here. Okay. So you can say that it just converts into a tuple of 3 parts. Okay. So like this, the partition method works here. Similarly, we have next method called as replace method. So replace, by the name itself, one can understand that it is replacing the content of a string here. But remember, remember that, as you know, the strings are in immutable nature. So for the same object, you cannot replace the value. If you want to replace it, you need to replace the value. That means the replaced value will be stored in another object, not on the same object. Like I'll just take one example here. I'm creating one string here. I'm just using C, C++, and I have just taken Java here. Now I have taken one string. So in this one, I have taken C, C++, Java, right? So I've just created one string here. Now what I need to do is, instead of this any of this language, if I just want to update it, if I want to replace it, so the replace string will be stored in another string. So for that, again, I'm using result as a string. That is my destination, where the result of the replace will be going to be get stored. Now for that, I need to use a source string. So what is my source string? A. And I'm using dot as, after dot, I need to use replace method. Now here in this argument of replace method, I have to provide compulsory 2 arguments. The first argument is the content what you want to replace, right? So that you have to write, and what it will be updated, that you need to write as a second argument, the content of the second argument. For example, here we have C, C++, Java. Instead of Java, if I want to update as Python, now what I need to change here is I need to change Java. So first I need to write Java here. Then I need to change Java with Python. So I'm writing the second argument as Python here. So I have written Python now. So what happens is it will be replaced. So if I'll just print this result, we can see that it is giving me as C, C++, Python. It means that it has been replaced with Python. So in this way, it works here. So that's why there are 2 arguments that has to be taken every time. But there is another argument also, but that is optional one. For example, like, in our string A, we have C, C++, and Java. But because if I just take A, you can see that it is originally to store C, C++, Java only. What I need to do is, if I just want to update wherever C is there, if I want to update with other value, other alphabet, how many times I need to replace that count I can put as a third argument. Okay, let's take an example. So here again, I'm using the same variable because it be stored. I mean, the reference will be changed for the current object. So I'm using a dot replace, and I'm just I want to change, instead of C, I want to change it with R, right? Then how many times I need to change, I need to replace. So that count I have to specify as a third argument, and that is optional one. For example, here if I just write as 2, so like it will be, we'll see now. if I'm just printing result, you can see that it has been replaced two times. The one is with C and the other is another one is with C++. That's why you're getting R, R++, and Java, because we have mentioned the count. Okay, so based on that only it will be performed. So in this way, the third argument is an optional one. So this is how the replace method works here. Similarly, we have method called as justification of the text. I mean, justification of the strings. So I mean, you can justify either towards the left side, either towards the right side. Now, if I want to use towards the left side, so I should use ljust. Okay, by which method? Ljust. So ljust is left justified. Let us take an example here. I'm just writing my name here. So I just written my name. Okay. And in this one, what I'm doing is I'm using ljust. So ljust I'm using. Then what I'm doing here is that I know that my name here is of 6 characters, but I have taken more than, I want to take more than of that. So it means I want to take 9 here. That means I'm just taking 3 more than the actual one. So what is going to happen is if I'll take asterisk here, so you can see that there are 6 letters in my name. So that 6 letters has been came towards the left side, and the remaining letters, like 3 more are being available. So for that 3, it will be occupied with the string, with the string what you have taken here. So you have taken a star here. So it is taking star here for the remaining 3 positions. Okay. So like that, the things will work here. It only been into consideration if the number what you have specified is more than the size of the string, original string. For example, like if I'll just take ljust of 5. Now 6 is the actual one, but I'm taking 5 here. So you can see that there is no impact at all. Why? Because already the string itself, the original string contains of 6 letters, right? But you have specified as a size of 5. That means there is no impact of this string, this asterisk. But if it is more than that, right? Like here 9 means it is 3 more than the actual one. That's why this 3 is coming towards this side. So like this, the ljust will work. Similarly, we have another one called as right justified. So for that, how we need to use this? For example, if I'm using here rjust, same thing I'm doing here. I'm writing 9 and now you can see that it has been right justified. That means the actual strings has towards the right side and the remaining has been occupied, okay, at the initial one. So the 3 asterisks are printing at the initial one, then the actual string will be printed. And even if I take 5 here for rjust, so it just prints the actual string only. So there is no impact at all if you're using this. If you're using the size here, so this is the size actually, and the size should always be greater than the original string. Then only there will be an impact of this. So in this way, left justified and right justified will works here. Similarly, we have another method called as strip method. Now, strip method in the sense the main is strip is something to remove the content from the given string. For example, here, if I'm writing here, space I'm using good morning. I'm just writing here. So here you can see that before good and after morning, there are some spaces in the given string. So whenever we use strip method, Okay, so it removes all such kind of spaces. So here, if I'm just writing storing in result, so a dot strip, and you can see that the excess values which we have taken previously has been removed. Now only the good is there and morning is there. When how it is coming? Because here in strip argument we haven't provided any argument. That means it considers for spaces. Okay, so it's considered for spaces. But if there is any specific character is there which you want to strip from the initial one and from the last one, then you can use that argument. For example, here, if I'll be writing as result dot strip, then I'm using an argument, and that is my string as G. So what is going to happen is you can see that the G from the initial one and the G from the last one has been removed. Okay, that has been removed from that one. And you will be getting, why? Because it will delete from the last and it will also delete from the first. Okay, but if you want to delete from the first only, like if you want to delete G only from the first position and you don't want to delete G from the last one, then at the time you can use another method of strip that is called as left strip, or simply you can call as L strip. So how you can use here L strip is you can use same thing, just you need to replace strip with L strip. So here I'm using L strip now. Now in this one, I'm writing G over here, and you can see that G has been removed from the first position. Okay, and the last G will be kept as it is only. Okay, for instance, for example, if you want to delete the G for the last character, not from the first, then at the time you can use R strip, that is right strip. So here if I'll write result, simply I need to change L strip with R strip. So I'm just changing R strip now. The same G I'm using now. And you can see that good morning. So there is no G at all here. That means the last G has been removed. So in this way, the strip method works. And if you won't specify L or right, that is L strip or right strip, R strip, if you simply take strip means it will delete from both of the position, from both of the side. And if you won't provide any kind of arguments there, then the spaces, whatever it's, if there are any spaces, then it removes that kind of spaces as well. So this is how something the L strip, R strip, and a strip works here. Similarly, we have another method called as split method. So this is what I said is about strip method. The next thing is about what you said, split method. So here, what is going to happen is, for example, if I'm taking, I'm using I'm writing a string called as good day, then I'm using split method. So here a split is there. So what is going to happen here is, whenever if you haven't provided any kind of argument in split method, then split is something that a single string is there, you are creating into group of strings. So here good space day is there. So like in the split argument, you haven't provided anything, right? So ultimately what happens is the good will be get separated and the day will be separated, and it forms as a list here. And this list is something like what you need to do is you are taking that means both of them will be separated by comma here. Okay. Only when, for example, if there is a space here, like here space is there. So in order to you use space here, so you should not provide any kind of argument in split method. But for example, if I'll take another string where I'm writing Python programming, but you can observe here in Python programming that the Python and programming has been separated with a dollar symbol. So that means that acts as a separator here, which separates Python and programming, but ultimately it is a single string. Now using split method, what I can do is I can separate that. So here I'm using result is equals to, I'm using B as a source string. I'm using split method here. I'm using split method, and in split method, now you can see that there is no space here, but the separator is dollar here. So that separator I need to specify here. So I'm just writing dollar over here. And you can see that with this help of dollar, the partitioning will perform, I mean, splitting will perform here. So that what happens, Python has been separated and programming has been separated, and it forms a list of the group of strings. So in this way, the split method works here. Okay. Apart from the split, so this is just for a single line. Like good day is for a single line. I mean, for single is a string of a single line. What if we have a multi-line strings, right? What if we have a multi-line strings? So in that sense, for example, here, if I want to take a multi-line string, so here I'm using 3 double quotes for multi-line strings. So I'm writing Python, then I'm writing the remaining part in the next line is an easy, and again the remaining part I'm writing in the next line, interesting language, and I'm closing with that 3 double quotes. So here I've created a string here, which is a multi-line string. Now, for example, if I want to split, because here multiple lines are there, so for that I need to use a method called as split lines. So here I'm using A, which is my variable split lines, and here I'm not providing any argument here. You can see that each of this line has been converted as one part of a string, and it has formed as a group of strings in a list. So that Python is what? The first part, is an easy and is the second part, and interesting language is one more string of the given list. So in this way, the split line works here. And for example, here in the split lines, arguments, we haven't taken any argument, but we can take one argument that is called as keep ends. Okay, what is that? Keep ends. So this argument is that the name of that argument is keep ends, and it contains 2 values. Either you can take true or else you can take as false. So let us see by using these 2 values, what will be the impact of those keep ends. So here I'm using split lines. In this one, I'm writing as true. And you can see the difference here is that keep ends in the sense the terminator. I mean, you know, Python is in the first line. Is an easy and is in the second line. That means from first to second line, \n will be there, which will deduct, will be used internally, that reads as a new line for the next line. So you can see that Python is going \n, going to the next line. Then again, is an easy and it is going to the next line again. \n indicates that. And here, this is interesting language. Now, interesting language is the end. That's why there is no \n here, because there is no 4th line here. The 3rd line is the last line here. So that's why if you provide as true here, so that the keep end, that is \n, will be displayed. And if you will take as a default one, then only the strings actual string part will be displayed here, and it will ignore this backslash n over here in this method, where if I'm not writing anything as an argument here. Now if I'll use another argument called as false, so the false will behave like as a default one. Okay, the false will behave like this only. Okay, because false indicate that we are not keeping any keep ends. So here I'm writing split lines. Here I'm writing split lines, and in this one I'm writing false. So you can see that this false will behave like this only. So that you can see that only Python is an easy and an interesting language is there. Okay, so in this way the split line works. Okay, so with this I have covered almost all of the methods. Might be some methods I've been not yet covered, but mostly I've covered all of the methods. So with this, I hope the viewers can clarify their doubts with respect to the string methods.